tavern keeper.
I see you're back. Can I pour you something this time?
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age. Hair down to his neck, light brown, blue eyes. Quite the talker.
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'd be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
Here you are, to cover.
Excellent. Honest books makes for honest friendship. Or a right good fool. He went and insulted a band of ruffians from the lower boroughs. Dangerous fellows. They've a storehouse they operate out of a few streets from here.
What kind of business do they run?
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on recovering your cousin, I would hurry if I were you. They're not the tender sorts.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow. Who could down his pint. Anything else?
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Selection, whatever you need to be the top of all.
Sir Desade, I presume. It is an honor to make your acquaintance. Captain, you set sail soon. Have you seen to our little business?
Yes. We were finally able to recover your merchandise.
Excellent news. I'm afraid, though, that your mission isn't completely finished, Kurt.
Blast me, I'm a captain, not an errand boy.
The commander was quite explicit.
Very well. What do I need to do?
The merchandise that you obtained needs to be sent to Tier 4D as soon as possible. But the Port Authority formalities for shipping take an eternity to wade through. And we've already lost quite a bit of time with this dishonest merchant.
Are you blatantly asking us to smuggle this merchandise and contraband?
I would never ask you to do such a thing, Your Excellency.
Ah, but you don't mind asking that of Kurt?
Well, now, if he finds an alternative solution that is less, illegal, that would be fine. The method matters not. But this cargo must reach the Isle on the next ship.
Marvelous.
Well then, I await your return with utmost impatience. I'm certain you shall do what's required.
Are your boots worn through? Is your hat out of style? Does your vest belong to last year's
Sir, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we cannot leave without him.
Have no fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
I have a favor to ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel.
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten it into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tier 4D. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse, and noted on the manifest, will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to doctor the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office. Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers.
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
Nothing to bother yourself about. I'm just curious.
You wouldn't, by the sheerest of coincidences, be on the trail of a couple of heretics, Your Excellency. The same a couple of the ambassadors of Teleme's men have been looking for nigh on 2 days.
And so you know about that?
Of course. The Cardinal's henchmen are hard to miss, even in a crowd. And they were making quite a fuss, hoping we would cave in and help them in their hunt. Feel free to carry out your own investigation, but you'll end up with the same answers. The port brigs, just like the warehouses, are property of the Norns. No one else may enter.
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
Do you have any idea how to get in there without being noticed?
Let's take a look around the building. We might find a less conspicuous entrance.
If you wore a Nort uniform and you were able to keep your mark hidden from them, they might let us in. Unless we just offered them a drink. These sailors rarely refuse one.
I see where this is headed. If we drop a little soporific in their glasses, the way will be clear. I'll just need to find the proper ingredients, but it's doable.
Where is the manifest to be found?
I've already been to the port authorities. They keep the official documents upstairs. Here's the ship's manifest. We only need to add our merchandise to the list.
Hello? What can I do for you?
We're the relay. You're dismissed.
Finally! We were starting to grow moss. Courage, me hearties. The path is clear. We should notify the men. They need all the time they can get.
To wait here with the merchandise.
It's time to get going.
Do your best to be quick and quiet about it. You won't have much time to move it.
Don't you be worrying now. We're off.
The warehouse is at the end to the right there. You can't miss it.
Move out. Quick steps.
I've seen a few escapes in my time, but...
Are you the smuggler?
You snuck yourself in here just to ask me that question. If this is some sort of trick to get me to admit to some crime, you are truly twisted.
You can see for yourself that I'm no Nord. Come now. Are you the one I'm looking for?
I'm already locked up. What more do I risk? Yes, I am a smuggler. But I'm not the only one in this city.
I'm searching for a couple fleeing to Leme. They're trying to leave the city discreetly. Have they contacted you?
You certainly can't imagine I'm going to answer you without getting something in exchange. I don't really think of my clients as kin, but I'd never betray any of them for free.
A real saint you are. How about your freedom in exchange for your loyalty? Tell me where I can find them and I'll open this cage.
That works for me. Your two Telemites are hidden in a warehouse behind this very prison. They must be waiting for me. But you might want to be quick about it. If the Nauts get their hands on them, they'll find themselves in this same cage.
Thank you.
Anytime. And these doors? You're gonna open them, right? Come on now. Let me out. You promised. Please. Thank you, my lord. And don't worry about me. I'll slip outside without being seen.
Who is there?
May the Illuminated save us. Did the smuggler send you?
The man to which you are referring was arrested and thrown into prison, but revealed to me your hiding place.
Oh, the traitor!
Have you come to deliver us to the Inquisition, then? Please, please, have pity on our souls. We have committed no crime. We are not heretics. We are nothing more than historians.
In that case, why is the ambassador of Teleme so concerned about your teachings? Why is the Inquisition looking for you, and why are you hiding?
Our only error was wanting to publish our work.
It's true. We presented our research, but it didn't please the censor. And here you have the result.
We fled all the way to Serene, thinking we would be safe. But the Inquisition wants to silence us so badly that they followed us here.
Did you try speaking with the censors? You could forget what you have discovered, perhaps.
Oh, we have signed already an abjugation stating that we misunderstood the sacred texts of St. Lucius. We were even ready to say that we had never seen the true text, or anything else that would have pleased them.
It served no purpose. It's our lives they are after.
Who were you hoping would give you asylum?
We were hoping to reach Al-Sad. The Inquisition won't chase us into the den of their enemies.
Our research won't interest the Bridge Alliance, or at least I doubt it. But at least we'll be safe.
By entering Al-Sad as clandestines, you risk being taken for spies.
That would be better than being burned at the stake.
Tell me more about your research. What about it is so horrifying that it would provoke such a fuss?
Our work concerned the teachings of St. Lucius.
The disciple of Saint Matthias? The one who returned to Teleme after traveling with his master?
The very same. His writing was carefully preserved, but never seriously studied.
With the discovery of Teofredi, we thought it crucial to take a look at the original text. We wanted to verify if this island could have been the faraway place that he spoke of. The Eden of Saint Matthias.
And? What did you find?
Teofredi is without any doubt the land that our Saint Matthias and his disciples went to. But the text that we discovered was radically different from what we expected to find.
In the original text, Saint Lucius doesn't speak of an Eden, of the paradise of the illuminated. He speaks of a voice that came from the depths of the earth, which convinced Saint Matthias to stay there.
It was written in black and white, and there is no doubt about it. The original was written in Lucius's own hand.
I understand now what that text has cost you. This voice from the depths sounds more the power of a demon than a saint.
The sacred texts are always difficult to interpret, but what is written is written.
I see. Well, you have no other choice but to run and seek refuge in enemy territories.
I beg of you, please do not deliver us to them. Let us continue on this path.
I could have a word with the good Dr. Sahin, the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance. If he can be persuaded to offer you asylum, you would be saved.
Your goodness honors you. May the illuminated forever light your path.
If I manage to convince the ambassador, you'll need to refrain from that sort of blessing. Stay here. I'll be back. Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade.
I would like to talk to you about a rather delicate matter.
I am listening.
A couple of historians have made a recent discovery concerning Mateus, the founder of the mythical Thélème. And it seems that this is not to the liking of the Illuminated, or at least his more fervent subjects.
These sinister hypocrites are going to want to burn them at the stake.
Without a doubt. And that's why these poor people are begging you to offer them asylum.
We are willing. Where are they to be found at this time?
At the port of Serene. They were hoping to stow away discreetly on a vessel to Al-Sad.
Very well. I shall send an escort immediately to take them somewhere safe.
I need to be going.
Goodbye.
We owe you our lives. We are eternally grateful.
It was nothing. I hope you won't have too much difficulty adapting.
If you would allow me, I would...
Farewell.
You have a kind heart, Greenblood. It'll be the end of you, but that doesn't bother me. I wouldn't have wanted those poor buggers to end up on a burning pyre.
It would seem that I'm not the only one with a tender heart. Good day, Excellency.
Sir de Sade, to what do I owe the pleasure?
It pains me to inform you that the heretics you seek have fled.
Curse them! How could that possibly have happened?
After I heard the case they made for themselves, I decided to let them escape.
What are you saying?
They convinced me that your accusations have nothing to do with heresy, and that their only crime was discovering historical truths denied by Thélème.
And you gave credence to the lies preferred by these blasphemers. Their historical truths are nothing but nonsense, fabricated to undermine the foundations of Thélème. The simple act to have proffered such horrors proves the fact that they are heretics. I fear that your youth and kind heart has blinded you, de Sade. That is a shame. I was expecting more from a young legate who seemed sensitive to our magic.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide.
Sir, you still haven't found your cousin?
Have no fear.
I'm still without news.
You haven't heard anything about my cousin, by chance? To be honest, we were...
Did you say he was intent? My men spoke...
That's it.
Let's go and find him.
Happy to be of some...
Be back soon, Captain.
If you had any idea who I am... Open up, imbeciles! I have a ship to catch!
That vulture of a tavern master was right. It is Constantine's voice. It's coming from the floor above.
It sounds as if he's locked up.
And I have a feeling they're expecting company. Be careful. The slightest itchy word to these brutes will have them drawing blades to scratch it.
Negotiation may be the solution. As you say, this breed of brutes won't spit on ransom money.
What a waste. I'd rather sneak around them than give half a coin to these seedy fellows.
This man is going to bring the guard out if he keeps shouting like that. We should have gotten rid of him.
Don't be an idiot. It's obvious that he's a noble, a rich man. He needed to be taught a lesson, but it's better we grab some coin. With all those posters we posted, someone with deep pockets will show up sooner or later to liberate the rooster. He's making a great deal of noise.
To my help! And death to the others!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Locked.
Well, this has been monumentous, gentlemen, but I have more important things to attend to. An island to govern, treaties to sign, riches to expedite, and a demanding father to impress! Constantine, it's me! My dear cousin! Oh, my lucky star! Always there to pull me out of my fun.
I'll do what I can. We're departing soon. Your father wasn't pleased by your absence this morning.
Have you ever seen him happy about anything when it comes to me? You know what he thinks of me.
He cares about you. I know that. He appointed you governor, didn't he?
He is ridding himself of a source of constant disappointment. Enough said. Today we set sail for adventure. If you only knew how these river scum treated me. Do me a courtesy, good cousin. Now that we stand boldly alongside the brave Kurt, let's give them their money's worth.
There's no one left to pay, Your Highness. The brave Kurt and your cousin have already settled the books.
Really now? What a shame. I would have loved to have seen that. We've nothing left to do then than to board our ship. An adventure awaits us at the end of the street.
Selection. Welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you seen anything to your liking. Thank you for your visit. See you. Welcome. Have you seen any? you for your visit. Welcome. It's have you... Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
Sir?
Constantine d'Orsay, future governor of Tir-Fredi. I'm enchanted, Captain. I am eager to board your ship.
Enchanted as well, Your Highness. I hope you enjoy your voyage.
Are you ready? Can we weigh anchor?
We should be able to set sail with the tide, as agreed upon. I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the... But the day of departure.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so.
This Jonas, does he have any...
In tradition, we are all members of the same family.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish, you'll find...
Be back soon, Captain. Good day. Someone told me that you're a friend of Jonas's, the young cabin boy who's gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro, and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart, and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
What do you think about Captain...
He's a damn good navigator. He knows his craft well.
How old is he?
He's not seen it.
I need to be going. Fel? Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know...
I'm talking about, but like I've been...
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand. Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left, you get me?
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mess too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did Jonas seem troubled to you the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
Thank you, Lara.
Strange story, this.
Something isn't right here, I can feel it. We need to lift the veil on this. Tavern keeper.
I see you're back. Can I pour you something this time?
I'm looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
Has the Malachor really put a damper on your business?
More than a damper. They were soaked. When the sickness began to spread, a wave of panic followed in its wake. People stopped going out of their homes. They were afraid. I was close to closing shop, I tell you. And then, thankfully, the alchemists of the bridge said that you couldn't just catch it like that. People were still distrustful, as is their nature, but they are leaving home again. It's a start. I also lost quite a few regular customers. Dead or too scared to venture back. Yeah, but that's nothing new to you. The city would have sunk in the water if not for trade with the new isle.
I need to be off.
Goodbye.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No. Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I am here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong-arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Thélème embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Might I help you, sir?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
How did you find your son's trail?
We have never stopped looking for him. We learned the new name they gave him, Jonas. My poor little Celestine. Then we learned the name of the ship he sailed on. No sooner had it docked in Serene than my husband had the crew watched closely, and we found him.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact? It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Sir? We should be able to set sail with the tide, as agreed upon. I'm still without news of my cabin boy.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claimed...
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nords, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Nord. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Permission to board the ship. We are ready.
Certainly. But keep in mind that we'll be at sea for several months. If you have any farewells to make or any final business...
You're quite right. I do have a thing or two to put in order.
Then be quick with it. There isn't much time left before the tide rolls out.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Naut?
How I would like my father to be implicated in this sordid business. Our old teacher must surely know what's going on here. Let's go talk to him.
Your Highness, I'm happy to see you. Your absence this morning worried both your father and me.
Come now, Sir de Corsilion. My father may have been angry, outraged, or disappointed, but he's never worried about me. I'm sad to have caused you any worry, though. Would you believe that I was rotting away in a sinister jail, guarded by thugs ready to kill me? Though still seeing double from last night's drink, I was preparing an ingenious escape plan when... Ta-da! My dear cousin jumped up out of nowhere and saved me. I'm quite the fairy tale damsel in distress.
You might have refrained from the company of bandits the night before such an important departure.
Take away the risk and halve the pleasure, de Corsilion. It is the salt of life.
I fear that some of my teachings have been misunderstood. But you wanted to ask me something, de Sade?
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nords. children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nords as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us.